Hell's Kitchen Battle of the States Episode 9 Review. Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. We're in the final 10, and after watching tonight's drama-filled episode, on a scale of 1 to 10 I would give it a solid 5. This episode showed the collapse of the red team, and it was very sad to see how things went down and the way they went down. It was even sadder to see grown folks allowing other grown folks to bully them. So over the course of the video, I will talk about the important happenings for the episode, I will talk about the elimination, and I will share my list for which chefs have the best chance of making it to the black jacket round. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. The first important happening would be a scene featuring Mean Girls Jada and Anaya. A few minutes into the episode, we see Ellie talking about her experience in the Cook for Your Life challenge, and as Ellie was really getting into her feelings about the experience, just several feet away, we see Jada and Anaya making side comments about Ellie as if they didn't want to hear her talking about it anymore. Ellie notices these comments, and it causes Ellie to claim that she is stronger than Jada and Anaya when it comes to cooking on the line and being a leader. Now, for being real, then I gotta say that Ellie must be smoking that good stuff if she thinks that she's a better chef than Jada and Anaya. But this scene caused me to be somewhat disappointed in Jada. I expect this type of negativity from Anaya, but I didn't expect Jada to feed into the negativity and contribute to the toxic culture that was present during the season. Then again, this side of Jada may have always been there, and we haven't seen it because Jada has always been on the receiving end of a good edit. The next important happening would be this episode's challenge. In this challenge, both teams were tasked with creating a menu for a special dinner service for Johnson and Wales. This dinner service will feature entrees with 5 different proteins: scallops, squid, monkfish, duck, and filet. The chefs will go head to head with their dishes, and the winning dishes will be featured on the menu. Also, the team that gets at least 3 points wins the challenge. So in this challenge, we have Lisa and Jaden in the battle of scallops, Chris and Anaya in the battle of the squid, Jada and Alexandra in the battle of monkfish, Anthony and Ellie in the battle of duck, and Henry and Sydney in the battle of filet. And if we're being honest, then this challenge was about as one-sided as a 3-point shooting contest between Steph Curry and Shaq. The blue team mopped the floor with their dishes by a score of 4-1, and one could argue that the 1 point that the blue team did not get, which was Chris losing to Anaya, could have gone either way. But Anaya won the point based on technique. Sadly, I think that Chris could have won the point if he had just stuck to what he knew and what worked for him earlier in the season instead of taking unnecessary risks to prove something. It's not that hard of a concept. The next important challenge will be the punishment scene. Now, I usually don't cover the punishments for these episodes, but I thought that tonight's punishment was the exception. During the punishment, the red team had to bake a cake for dinner service. And during the scene, Anaya was being very annoying to her teammates and claiming that she would be in the finale for the season. Towards the end of the scene, Ellie makes the comment that Anaya may not want to alienate the red team because she might very well need them if she were to make it to the finale. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I think that Anaya has a good chance of making it to the finale. And if she does, then the finale will feature Anaya and Jada. And I think that Anaya has a legitimate shot because whether you like her or hate her, she makes her voice known in the kitchen, and she has a steady record for cooking good food. That, and she's also been driving the drama that I thought that Alexandra will be driving for the season. So Anaya is good for ratings, and she will be kept around for as long as possible. Now the next important happening will be the dinner service. And sadly, we're over the halfway point in the season, and both teams are making their fair share of careless mistakes during the dinner service. On the blue team, Chris messed up scallops multiple times, and it became extremely embarrassing to watch him self-destruct on one of the easier dishes on the menu. Jada also got caught in La La Land when she failed to communicate with Gordon in a timely manner, and she bounced back pretty quickly from that. Now on the red team, Alexandra served raw scallops multiple times, and she messed up so much that Anaya had to come in and take over. And while Ellie claimed that she was a better chef than Anaya and Jada, she became easily confused with orders that were coming in. But when it was over, Gordon felt that neither team had a great dinner service, and he wanted both teams to nominate 2 chefs for elimination. The blue team nominated Chris and Jaden. I think it was fair for Jaden to point out that Henry has no voice in the kitchen, which means that Henry is not a leader, and Gordon is looking for leaders. Chris, on the other hand, had to be nominated, and this is because of how much Chris screwed up, and he's had the worst performance in the challenges than any other chef on the blue team. On the red team, they nominate Alex and Anaya. In my opinion, nominating Alex was a no-brainer, but nominating Anaya was done purely off of emotion. Anaya was the only chef on the red team to win a point for the challenge in this episode. Anaya is also far from perfect, but thus far, she's the only chef on the red team that shows some leadership skills. Toxic leadership skills, but leadership skills nonetheless. And a case could be made that Ellie, Sydney, or Lisa could have been nominated for elimination. And I know that some folks are shocked that I would nominate Lisa for elimination, but in my opinion, Lisa has been coasting throughout this season, even though she made several critical mistakes during her dinner service history, and she hasn't shown any leadership skills throughout the competition. But Gordon ultimately decides to get rid of Alexandra. Now initially, I picked Alex to get a black jacket if the season were giving out 6 black jackets, but I'm not surprised with this elimination. Alex simply allowed another chef, particularly the chef that's young enough to be her daughter, to bully her during dinner service and throughout the season. And I don't know about any of you out there, but I'll be damned if I allow another adult to bully me at the job, in public, or even in private. Because if that day ever happened, then it would be a F around and find out moment pretty quickly. And the red team may have thought that it was a wise decision to snitch on Anaya and tell Gordon that she was a bully, but all that shows Gordon is that the rest of the red team members can't handle a chef that has a strong personality. And if Ellie, Lisa, and Sydney have leadership skills, they would have handled the issues with Anaya without getting Gordon involved. So with the elimination of Alex, my prediction of the black jacket round remains the same, which means that Jada, Lisa, Henry, Anthony, and Anaya will have a high chance of making it to the round. And at this point, the only other chef that I could see possibly sneaking in is Jaden. I also think that Chris's fate has been sealed. In the beginning of the season, I was rooting for Chris, but he is currently in his own head, and I don't see him getting his head in the game before the season is over. I feel that the final 3 chefs for the season are going to be Jada, Anaya, and Lisa, and Anaya and Jada will make it to the finale. Now, if for some reason any of these chefs are eliminated, then I will revamp the list, but as of right now, that's what I'm sticking with. Now, next Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I believe it'll be a few weeks before Hell's Kitchen comes back on. But this marks the end of the review. Please feel free to leave all comments below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.